there was a protest in New York. For those people who live in New York, there's been an interesting thing that's been happening. They've added, I don't know, like 150 cops to the subway stations.
And they're installing high-tech cameras.
Is that right?
Above every individual turnstile. There's like a line of 4 above 4 different turnstiles. So there's
Not
cameras
sure,
on.
Is that right?
It looks just ridiculous.
Not sure how many.
Where did they roll those out?
I'll see if I can find a picture of it here.
That's creepy.
How many 275 do you have to add up to pay for one of those cameras?
Now, here's the thing. What they're doing is they're trying to, they've been underfunding the MTA, subway system here, for years now, and they've allowed it to deteriorate. And they are claiming that the real problem is there are too many people jumping the turnstiles. So we need to put another 150 cops into the stations, which is, of course, a sop to the police union. It seems to me there's a lot of other things that you could have them doing. If you really are just looking for make work jobs, there's a lot of other things you could do.
What if you're really looking to recoup the money? Like the cost benefit analysis is not good.
I don't know what the numbers say in that regard, but
I mean, it doesn't matter.
The bottom line is there's money to fund this stuff. We're still on like a huge corporate tax break for everybody. And I don't know. I just got an IM saying, do I think this is a slow roll to privatize the MTA? I don't know if they'll be able to privatize. I mean, that just seems absurd to me. Although I could imagine them trying to sell off parts of it. But in response, New Yorkers have decided to engage in some civil disobedience that apparently, can we use your name, Jamie?
Sure.
Jamie was involved with. You'll see her pictures probably that they now have those overhead things. It's going to be great because people are going to now wear like hoodies. It's going to be ugly.
Joker masks.
They're going to incorporate so much Palantir face scan technology into this shit. It's amazing.
They've probably ran it on all these videos already.
Unhealthy.
It's good to see New York still have a little bit of grit, though.
Yeah, this is good. So here's the protest. This is a fun protest. Where did this take place?
This was at Schermerhorn.
Oh, right around the corner.
Yeah,
it's the AC?
Yeah, it started right around the corner from the studio, actually, because, I don't want to dox us, but...
Near Gowanus. There you have folks jumping the turnstiles and the cops watching and just going, no, there's nothing we can do.
Was it Chile that happened in recently?
Yeah, well, Chile was they held it down, and then they actually, what was the next level in Chile? Because first they held it down and then just like ushered people in, like people who weren't involved with the protests. They were just like,
awesome,
right this way. Yeah, that was great.
So I read some of the materials that were passed around at this big demonstration, which started in downtown Brooklyn and ended pretty much in downtown Brooklyn. There were over 1,000 people there, by the way, which is pretty amazing, I think. And it was organized mostly by a group called Decolonize This Place, which is a radical abolitionist and anti-capitalist organization. And there's some overlap with Black Lives Matter there, so mostly led by young Black and brown people. And the flyer, among other things, makes explicit connections to the uprisings that are happening in Chile, in Lebanon, Ecuador, and Haiti right now. Like we've just been talking about how do we connect up these movements. And I think that is starting to happen. The flyer talks about a number of incidents where this stepped up police presence in the subways has led to increased violence against Black and brown youth, as one would imagine it would. A few people were killed by the cops in the Bronx the week before last. I think we've all seen the video, too, where the cops pull out 1 million guns and point them at a young kid named Adrian Napierre, whose only crime was jumping the turnstile. And they beat up a kid in another nearby subway station. So what this flyer basically says is, I can read a little bit of it. All over the city, police are hunting for Black and brown youth on the subways. Our babies can't walk home after school or ride the train without police pressing them. It goes on to say, meanwhile, the rent goes up, there ain't no jobs and no affordable housing, and the city and state government want to press us over 275. F out of here. And then towards the end, it makes a connection explicitly to the new jail plan, to de Blasio's plan to build a bunch of new jails. They're pressing us for 275 and crying broke when they dead ass about to drop $11 billion on building 8 to 12 new jails, talking some bullshit about closing Rikers. Lies.
There you
So
go.
these things are all connected. And
How long did it take you to write that, Sam?
Where can more people get information?
Oh God, you know what? I'm not sure. I don't even know who invited me to this thing. I came out with some of my DSA comrades to show our support, but we were not the main organizers.
All right, we will.
If you search
find it.
decolonize this place, you can find stuff on it.
Yeah, search decolonize this place, and we'll put something in the podcast description.
Absolutely.
All right, let me